PR person, actress, and Melissa is great with working out and manifesting, and she does a lot of amazing women's retreats. So super excited about getting her in the live. Maybe she can comment. I see she's here. Comment so I can pin your comment. Yay. We're just going to wait for more people to join. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Great to see you all. I spent the day doing some audition tapes, and Melissa is also an actress, so maybe she can talk about some manifesting techniques. All right. Hello, everybody. Hey, girl.
Hey, oh my God, you gorgeous girl. What's going on?
You too. I'm excited to we've been talking about doing this for a while, so I'm excited to finally talk to you.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited. And I love today's topic. You know me.
Yes, manifesting.
Oh my God. And the fellow actors here. Yes. Actors, coaches, doing all the things. Do all the things.
Yes. Yes. Now, you've been manifesting and doing all of that stuff for a long time, and your body is amazing in terms of the fitness that you do. Do you manifest your fitness as well? Is that, because I know a lot of times people diet and they diet and they diet and nothing happens. Do you think that manifesting can help that, or?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I love this question so much. I do. Because everything is mind-body connection. And when people talk about soul and spirit, and look at all your incredible fans here, just loving you up. What a beautiful community. I feel so honored to be here. Oh my God. So yeah, one of the things that I see and one of the things that I teach is, I'm seeing Robbie Richmond. He is like a blast from the past for me. From California. Sorry, guys. Okay. So one of the things I will say in terms of manifesting your body and your ideal weight is really understanding the mind-body connection. And often those that are dieting and want to lose weight or struggle with their weight, they're all in their minds and they're not actually listening. And I always teach, we're animals by nature. And your body wants to be at its ideal weight. Have you ever seen an animal that's overweight and it looks like it's in pain? Like you're like, please, for the love of God, help your pet out. Please stop feeding it. It's not having fun right now. It's struggling to go for a walk with you. And so I always say, when you're actually listening to your body, it's guiding you to the foods that are right for you, to the workouts that you want to do. And it's really tapping in. The way spirit speaks to us is not, everyone thinks it's this loud voice, right? That's going to come down and be like, don't go there. And really spirit speaks through our feelings, our senses, and that's the body. And that's the body that's guiding you. And if you really look at the scientific research, we'll look at heart math, for instance, which literally shows that the heart acts just like the brain without conscious interference. And if you really look at that, then that would tell you right there. So yeah, you will totally, it is the easiest way to get connected and to release unwanted weight. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, any tips for me? Because I know we talked on the phone. You do, for your life coaching, you do sessions.
Yes.
And you're intuitive. And I remember when I first met you, you knew all this stuff about me.
That's right.
Yes, the gifting suite. Yeah.
Yes. At the Oscars. Yes. At the Oscars. No, at the Oscars gifting suite. Yeah. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Yes. Because we had different conversations. Yeah. And I tapped right. There were all these messages going through. I think you were staring at me like, what just happened?
Exactly. I'm like, how did she know all of this? I didn't even tell her anything. She just knows.
Yeah. My friend, Dr. Jade Tata, if anybody follows him on Instagram, he's incredible. He makes jokes and he's like, you've got that ESPN thing going on. And I'm like, yeah, the ESPN. Yeah. So yeah, I feel very blessed. I mean, we're all intuitive. I just was from a very young age, would just know things and be guided to things and yeah, my mom used to get freaked out and be like, what's like, why do you know this? And, you know, and this isn't something that where I grew up that was widely talked about, or even law of attraction. I was raised, you know, private Catholic school. So it was just like, oh, you're an old soul, you know. I would just always get, oh, she's so wise for her age, was kind of like the spin we put on it.
Yeah. Now, is there any tips for people watching how they could be more intuitive, or should we take a caller and maybe see if you can answer their questions? You want to take any callers, or what do you think?
Oh yeah, I think I can do, you know, we can do colors. I can also share, why don't I'd love to give quick tips. Why don't I give some quick tips on getting intuitive? Everyone's not going to love this first one, but I'm just going to give it anyway. Whenever I tap in, one of the things, and, you know, that I always get told is, you know, clear vibration. And that's always for the audience, because if you want to tap in for your intuitive guidance, don't look at your phone first thing. Stay disconnected. The more that you connect in, like social media, what we don't understand or really take into account energetically is that you are opening up to the millions of people that are on at this very same time. Whether or not they're watching this doesn't matter. They're still on a device. If you think we're all connected, you know, those Verizon commercials where everything lights up and they're showing the world, that's what they always show me. So if you want to hear what's meant for you, first thing in the morning, don't open up your channel to the rest of the world. You know, don't turn on the news, don't open up these social outlets. And also, when you close out of them, really cut your energy. I always tell people, use actual energetic scissors and cut from your computer, cut from your phone. Do things to really care for your energy. Like when I just led our Awakened Woman retreat this past weekend with my colleague, Dr. Olivia Audrey. And we do a thing called Cosmic Tea, and it's the Girlfriend's Guide to the Universe. It's a show. And one of the things we were really talking about is that energy is your currency. It is like when you actually think, like, money is a man-made construct. So is time. You know, the universe, God, source, whatever you want to think of, did not create any of this. Yet we all follow all of the rules with it. But it was just another human that put a limitation on another human, right? And now we all have our world being what it is. So we really want to understand that in truth, when we're talking about manifestation and attracting that in, and we are talking about the rules of intuition, you really want to protect your energy. Your energy is your currency. It's what you have. And just think, every time you open up to a negative person or a negative thought, you're giving away. If you start off your day with $100, there goes 10, and there goes 10. So you want to really monitor your mind and monitor who you allow in your vibration. You know, who and what do you want to give your energy to? You know, when they say you are the connection of the 5 closest people to you, like, that is, who are you spending that time with? And if your house, so when you said to me about being intuitive, stay connected to you first thing in the morning and create a morning practice. 2, clean up the stimulants in your diet. Notice how much caffeine, how much alcohol, how much sugar, all right. Like, all of these things cloud our channel for hearing. And that's why you'll notice a lot of people, when they do like intermittent fasting or they do fast, they're like, I'm so clear-headed. Oh my God, I felt so positive and I felt so light and so inspired, and all of this creativity came through me, right? They cleared up their vibration, and that really helps with attracting in the things that you want, because you're able to focus on what you want. Whereas the minute that we create stimulants in our body, we create, right? Like, you have caffeine. If you're when I work with people that are anxious to heal anxiety, I said, cut your caffeine and cut your sugar, because, well, you have to, I mean, we bring you down incrementally. So if you have 3 cups of coffee, bring it down to 2, then bring it down to 1, then start doing smaller cups. Most people nowadays, their cup of coffee is actually the equivalent of 3 in 1. And then they're having like 3 of those a day, right? So,
That's me.
but the number one thing when I really do work with anxiety is a lot of people with anxiety, like you weren't born an anxious person. It was a self construct from humaning that was created as a response to life events and belief systems that were too emotionally overwhelming for your body. So you created a response to it that got coded in your DNA on a cellular level. So now every time you get put in a situation similar to that, it triggers to your mind set up for survival. Hi, we're experiencing symptoms that are too much for our body. What did we code in our DNA to respond to situations like this, to help us to override the discomfort that we're experiencing? And then the mind goes, okay, we're anxious. You get an identity of being anxious. Now your body's in an anxious state. So that's the most simplified way of saying what's going on scientifically and medically. So in order to do and heal anxiety, we have to do I take people through several things, but often you will find that after you have coffee, right, we're amped up with energy. And what happens? Our mind starts going. And then we're having a heightened state, our heart's going faster. So whatever comes at us, we're highly reactive, very synonymous with that of an anxious state. So of course it's going to propel more of the same. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's so funny how you like right away you're like anxious, and I'm like, because you're like, know that I'm anxious. So it's funny that you like picked that up to talk about, and you knew how many cups of coffee I drink a day. That's really funny.
So,
You
well, I'm
intuited
like,
that.
so I mean, those are, and then the other with the biggest thing with anxiety and also with tapping into your intuition is breathwork. And one of my favorite techniques to bring people in and to heal anxiety as well, but also to help you to hear intuitive guidance is a pattern of repetition. It's called 5, 5, and 5. And you breathe deep through the nose for 5, and you suspend the breath for 5. When you suspend the breath, it calms the central nervous system, which helps to really move your out of your into your subconscious and remove the conscious. So the conscious would be all the thoughts that are like, did I do this today? I can't believe I said that. Why did I do this? I'm so upset about that. Blah, 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 blah. The subconscious is what really taps in intuitively to you and really helps you to go, okay, what's really going on for me? What is it I really want? Because the subconscious, your higher self, your intuitive self, is an ever-loving, unconditional presence that would never, ever say anything harsh, mean, critical, or anything of that nature. That is all the human mind. That's the conscious mind. So when we breathe in for 5 slowly through the nose, which is a tapered breathwork state, right? The mouth brings it in really fast. Through the breath, we have narrow passageways that also help to go up through the mind, right? Helping to clear the frontal lobe, suspending, calming the nervous system. Then we exhale slowly out through the mouth. And that's what we really want to be doing. And if you do that for 10 rounds, I did it with women at the retreat this past weekend. You were in an altered state of consciousness and completely calm and relaxed in moments. So you can go from a hyper reactive state, an anxious state, an overwhelmed state, a depressed state. You could come out of a meeting and be like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And you can do that for 5 to 10 rounds, and you will be in a completely altered state of consciousness where you are able to tap into your intuitive guidance and come at things from the space of feminine flow and grounding versus a masculine strive and struggle, which is just how I say, and men, I don't mean that your guys are striving and struggling. It's a difference for women in the way they operate.
That's awesome. And what else do you do at the retreats?
Oh my God. This one was mind blowing. It was 3 days. These women showed up one way. It's was the Awakened Woman, and it's take yourself to the next level. The Awakened Woman is all about, are you ready to play big? Are you ready to play big? Are you ready to get what you want? Are you ready to go to that next level? Mind, body, soul, spirit, right? And soul and spirit are not the same things. So I just want to preface that. I get asked that all the time. I'm like, they are two very different things. So it's really like whatever your goals are. You know how the new year always comes around and people are like, oh, look, that same goal is still there that I never reached. It's like, let's take that goal and let's reach it. Let's knock it out of the park and let's add on 3 more. So it's like, who is that woman that's ready to go there? And so we brought them in and we did everything from breath work to visualization. The first day is all about removing the blocks, because you can't get to where you want to be when you're blocked and operating from who you've been. So we have to get clear on what is it that's blocking you, because many times people are like, oh, I know what it is. It's this, but they do kind of a blanket statement and they don't really get under the hood. They're like, oh no, it's me that's blocking me. Okay, well, what about you? Right? Like, oh no, it's, you know, this or it's that. And often it's just a repeat story that you've been telling everybody and yourself for why you are the way that you are. But it's really not what's blocking you, which is why you're never getting unblocked. So that's where myself and Olivia are masters at really seeing what's going on. And then we bring our intuitive gifts in to then really take it that step further. And then did several clearing exercises. So the women had a giant release. And then honestly, by Saturday, they were like, what is up? And we might have done something that involved tequila. And I have the tequila shaman hour, and then several other things that just grounded us in, dance party, but no, a lot of other mind body exercises and things that we do that left them all flying high, vibing high. It was really great. Yeah.
So cool. And I wish I could have gone. When is the next one?
Oh my God, Dallas. Oh, you have to come. It will be so fun. Oh my God, you have to come. We can totally, I'm going to message you online.
Yeah.
I'm going to DM you because I just got an idea. Lauren, yes, it's going to be in Dallas, January 28th through the 30th.
Awesome. And now I just saw a man comment. He goes, this is only for women. This sucks. He's angry. But is there any tips? I feel like these tips are universal for men and women. And I feel like men also get blocked.
Oh my God, this is not just, I was just talking about our retreat just happened to be, but no, we have so many men that honestly watch all of our things. And so, no, all of this can work for men. All of this is for men. If you're anxious, do the breath work. If you want to tap in, don't connect to your phones or anything else first thing in the morning. Create a morning ritual just for connecting with yourself. Do some journaling. I, again, do a thing that I teach called 5, 5, and 5. Write for 5 minutes. Read something inspiring and introspective for 5 minutes, and then meditate for 5 minutes. Start there and keep building on your practice. That is a great way. That's when spirit's going to speak to you. That's when you can connect in with your intuition. The other thing that we had asked about, which was releasing weight and getting your ideal body. And I was saying, when you use intuition to tap in and start connecting with your body, that's also for men and women. You will be guided to the foods that are right for you. Guys, your body's always speaking to you. You know, because you are burping, bloated, you know, having flatulence and other things. You can tell by what comes out of your body. You can also tell by your level of satisfaction if you're tired right after eating. You know the foods that are not working for you. It's up to you. You know, I have some people just go, I realize that I could not be wheezing if I cut dairy, but I like cheese too much, so I'm just going to keep suffering, right? Like, it's up to you, but your body is always telling you what is working for it and what isn't, and it never lies. So you should feel good after you eat, and you should have energy and a clear head. And if you didn't, then you ate too much, or you ate something that didn't agree with you. So I feel like all of these apply to men. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. And I remember you telling me you were coaching some men in relationships. You coach Absolutely. A lot of men.
I've had 7 soulmate marriages under my belt. which I'm very proud of.
Wow.
And I'm not even, a 7, which is like, I'm like, yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Wow. Soulmate marriages. Tell me more. That I'm like, what? I didn't even know that. And now, so
Yeah.
you work with men and you coach men on how to meet their soulmates. What are, I guess, what are some, can you give us some of those tips? I know it's what you do for a living, but maybe you can
Yeah.
give us a few tips.
Well, okay, so I will, because girl, I got you. Um, I will say that the men that came to me, they weren't like, I want you to help me find love. They came, my entire brand is wholeness. And wholeness is coming back to the truth of who you are before you ever thought you were less than, ever, period. And the majority of us feel less than in some way. That's what comparison, that's what, like, we're proving something, seeking love, seeking acceptance, seeking approval. That's, essentially with love, you just want somebody that goes, I love you no matter what. I love you're crazy. I love you when you're happy. I love you when you're sad. Like, there's nothing you can do that would ever make me not love you. Right. Like, I accept you always in all ways. And, so they more came to me wanting support around getting their ideal body. Like, they were like, I want to release some weight, and I want the life coaching. Like, I'm ready to, like, I want to go big in my life, and I want to be whole, and I want to achieve, I want to be unstoppable. Because when you're whole, it's limitless, right? And you're really unstoppable. Like, you don't need anything from anybody. So you're just adding to everybody. And when you look at a relationship, you want two whole people coming together. You don't need something from them. See, when we need something from another, we have a repelling energy. Nobody wants somebody that needs, there's that neediness that actually makes you unattracted to them, because you're kind of like, whoa. Now, there are some people that the needy, right, attracts somebody that wants to always support somebody that's damaged, right? Because they aren't whole. And then you just end up in a dysfunctional relationship that sometimes those people stay together, but there are also those couples where you're like, I don't know what goes on, but like they scare me, but like, right? Like, they seem to work. But if you look at attachment styles, right? Like, there's that. So you really want to be secure. You want to be secure and know, I'm okay without you. I just prefer life with you. Right. And so these men started off with me, just wanting to really achieve their dreams. And we rounded them out, because my entire coaching method is holistic. So there's no way to up level in one area and not in all of them. So, wanting partnership, wanting more money, wanting to go big in their career, it just kind of all went there. Right. And if you're not whole, then you end up in relationships that aren't working. And the one that I'm thinking of right now, he got married. It was awesome. He got married to a soulmate in February in Jamaica. That's where they live. And at the time, he lived in Panama City when we started working together. And he was he was kind of seeking out women that had attributes that helped him to prove himself to other people, whether it was the way they looked, but they were all crazy and they would drive him crazy. And he was just like, I just know this isn't right. But like, and it was, he didn't fully believe that what he wanted existed, and that they would want him back. Right. Like, he was just like, so there was not enoughness going on. So the first and foremost, I would look at, what is your belief system? Do you believe you can have what you want? And if you don't, then that's where you need to start. Like, do you honestly believe that you can have what you want? Or are you just, because you can repeat all the mantras you want, and you can say, I'm ready for love, and you can hire all the different people, but if you don't believe it, then we have to look at what is the lack of belief. Is it you don't believe you're enough? Is it that you don't believe you're deserving? What stories have you bought into? And often there's a lot of stories, and we create a story around ourselves that in some way, we either can't have what we want, or love is hard for us, or we're meant to be single, or blah, 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 blah. And that's a story. And the more that you can become a third party observer of the story and not take ownership of the story, then the story won't own you. And then you start to separate. So right now, for everybody that's listening, if you're owning your stories of struggle, then that's what needs to shift. So stop saying my struggle with my body, my struggle in love, stop. Take the word my out and start to be a third party observer and go, okay, I see what's going on, but of course I'm deserving of love. Why would I be the only person hand selected by the universe, by God, by source, whatever your beliefs are, to not have love? Like I'm supposed to be the only, with all the people that have had all the things happen to them in the world and all the things that they've done and they have love. Why would I be, right? And then really looking at, okay, well, what is the belief system and what did this originate from? And a lot of relationship things can be tied to a lot of different lack of I'm not enough that we have within us. And the more that we can start to see that we are and work on that wholeness, then we start to align with other people that are on that same page. That makes sense? I feel like I just talked a lot.
It totally made sense. I know you have to go at 8, so I don't want to keep you, but I'd love to do this again, and maybe we can tell anyone who's watched to leave some comments.
Like, they texted through. I'm like, okay, that I'm good. They actually asked for an additional. I'm just going to move it. It's just been hanging out here. Hold on 1 second. I didn't want to put my finger on the thing. Yeah, they asked if we could do 20 after, so I'm good. I don't know how long you want to go. But
yeah, we can. Maybe let's take 1 or 2 people if they have a question. Does anyone have a question? You can request to join. I'm excited to hear about this. One problem I know I have is brain fog, and I know that has to do with anxiety. How do you get rid of brain fog?
I actually get your brain fog comes from sugar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't get
eat that much sugar.
I don't get that it's I don't get that there's a difference. So let's clear up, because I'm getting more what you're asking me as your scatteredness.
Yeah.
That there's a lack of focus, not so much brain fog.
I just kind of feel like I'm watching everything sometimes and I'm just going through the motions. I don't know if that's, but I do a lot. So it could be scatterness, but I just try to I'm working all the time. Either I'm, shooting a movie or trying to do my internet stuff.
Yeah. So honestly, so you can tell me how this lands with you. What I really get is more so for you, it's about actually having schedule and having scheduled days for things that you're doing. You're trying to see the mind. There's so many messages. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to start first with the schedule. They're showing me that there's like all these different compartments that you're trying to do, and you're trying to jam it all. And what's happening is it's making like a messy collage. It's almost like looking at a vision board with all the things that you want. And they're all stuck on the vision board, but they're all layered on top of each other. So you can't even really see. You see like a quarter of like a movie, and then you see like a little bit of like your other business goals. And then there's like love here, but like none of them are in clear focus because you're not in clear focus. Not because you don't know what you want, but because they're not being given their individual time. I'm sorry that my eyes, in order for me to get what's coming through, I can't look here. It's that they're not being given their individualized attention. So you can do all the things. I'm a firm believer you can have it all. And it's not right. Like we all can, we're magnificent beings. That's what I always get from spirit, is you guys are magnificent beyond measure, that there is nothing that you can't be, do, have. Everybody on the planet is being asked to realize the magnificence within themselves and to get out of the less than culture that we've really has been placed by man on man. That source never came down and said you're less than. We kept putting that on one another. You need to look like this. You need to weigh that much. The perfect body is this. The perfect career is that. In order to be successful, you need this much money. Like, And it's even happening a lot with social media, which is why they're so always come to me and say, you need to impress upon everybody to manage their media, manage your media consumption, and to understand the media is formulated. It's manufactured content, right? And to really understand what you're putting in your media folder, right? Because we're all filing. Let me get back to you though. Okay, see, that's what, okay, hold on. So what I'm getting for you specifically is they were showing me the cluttered vision board, and that you can do it all.
That is what my vision board looks like though.
That's fine. So I would do different boards for your different topics. So one of the things that I teach with vision boarding is have boards for specific. So have a body board, have a money board, have a business board, have an acting board, have a social media like influencer board, have your marriage, right? But separate them so right? The mind doesn't know a difference between a dream or reality. So you can get visuals up here, and make sure your picture is on those boards too. Whether you want to put a picture of you in the center and then build around it, or cut pictures of your face and put it on, the bride, and and put it on the getting your Emmy, and you know what I'm saying? But they're showing me that it has to be, you need to see clear focus, and your schedule needs to be clear. What's happening with your mind is you're trying to go from I'm going to write social media posts, to then I'm going to do my movie, to then I'm going to go over here, where they need specific days, or, you're only doing this during these hours. And then you have a transition period, just like I teach transition time with couples, right? And when you come in relationships, and when women come home from work, they transition before they go into being a mom, right? Or before, when men and women come home, before they are in partnership, they transition, they drop their business at the door, and they come in who they are as a partner, right? You need to have that before you go into the other buckets, because you're not giving a full percentage to everything that you're doing. And then you're getting frustrated because you're like, well, why aren't I seeing the success? Why aren't I getting the opportunities? Why aren't I? But it's because you're putting the work in, but you're exhausting yourself. And this is why I love intuitive guidance and intuition, because inspired action is very different than action. And what I teach is clear intention plus inspired action yields your desired result. Well, you're doing the actions, but it's not inspired. You're doing what you're telling yourself you need to do, but you've got guidance up here that's not coming through, because you're like, no, I have to do blah, blah, blah. Give space. You need white space as an artist to create. And you need to allow your mind to be free to do positively the buckets that you want to create for yourself.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's so funny how you saw my vision board, and it was funny because I looked and I was like, oh my God, that is my vision board. One person, we had a few requests. I'm going to add a few people because I know we don't have that much time, but that was amazing. I'm going to do it. Hello.
No, I love that you're like, you saw my vision board. I'm like, that's what I do. Yeah.
Matthew, do you have a question for Melissa?
Yeah.
Hi, Matthew.
What's your question?
No.
Do you have a question?
Yeah.
What's the question?
You guys do movies?
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe, okay. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you. Nice to meet you again. Bye. So maybe, how can we manifest more movies? Maybe that's a good, talking point.
So in terms of manifesting movies, I would say manifesting opportunities. I wouldn't put, there's your desire and then the universe's desire. So I always like to say this or something better.
Yes.
So I would like to manifest these movies or something better. But I would say I'd like to, I want to manifest being cast in, get specific with it to a degree, or something better. And I would have a daily affirmation around it, like I'm a booking machine and I'm on the big screen. I love that one. And also
I gotta write that
allow
down.
yourself to see yourself. What would that look like? What would that feel like? Everything about manifestation is about vibration. And what is vibration? Vibration is your frequency. And what is frequency? Frequency is energy. And what is energy? Energy is your highest currency. So in order to manifest the things that you want, you have to get in the vibration of them happening and allow yourself to feel as though they would happen. So for you, I would go, when was the last time you really felt like this, you know, famous celebrity, or you got cast in something, or you were like, yes, and you felt so excited and so exhilarated and so inspired? Get in that energy and drop into that energy every day, multiple times a day.
Mm-hmm. That's a great tip. So affirmations every day.
Affirmation, but you have to feel. Guys, affirmations don't work if you don't feel them. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You have to feel them. Who is that?
Oh, so we got another caller, I guess, that joined. Is he here? I don't see him. Oh, hi, Glenn. Glenn? Do you have a question for Melissa?
Well, I was wondering about opposites.
What about opposites?
Well, May, December kind of relationships. Do you get that?
I don't really understand, but
I'm not really.
I guess I don't understand the question.
May, December relationships.
Oh, like signs, like
total
like I guess
connecting.
So
yeah.
Is the question astrologically, are you guys a good fit?
I'm not sure. What?
I need a little bit more clarification here. What is the exact question that you need support with?
Well, I was wondering if like May, December relationships would work, to your opinion.
Do you mean zodiac signs? Like,
well, not so much, but I'm sure that's probably some of it.
I don't know. It doesn't sound like there's a real question there.
Oh, I don't know. The Wi-Fi is weird. Maybe let's just answer, like, if people aren't compatible, what do you do if you're in a relationship where you're not compatible? Can you make it work? Can people change?
What I will say to people changing is the core of who somebody is who they are. And, you know, you always have to look at, if you're waiting for someone to change for it to work, then I would say, I don't know the level of investment in that relationship, if you have children them or not, but you know, if you're sitting there, like, who a person is who a person is. You have to love who they are to be with them. And if you're going, well, I love the potential of who they are, which I see a lot of women try to do. I love who they are 5% of the time. I see this amazing man, but all the other time, or amazing partner. I don't mean to say men or women. You know, like, you've got to like that person exactly as they are when you're going to marry them or be with them. But if you're loving who they could be, well, who they could be is up to them. It's not up to you, no matter how much you love them. You know, like, I always see, you know, men and women going, well, if I just love them more, or if they just get the therapy they need, or if they just end up with the job that makes them happy, or if they just heal their stuff from the past, or if they just lost the weight, or if they just got the job, or, you know, they were happy at one time, those first 3 months that we're together, but the past 3 years have been awful. I'm like, then you're still in love with the idea of who you fell in love with, but not who you've actually been with.
I definitely agree. That's one thing one of my ex-boyfriend's mother said to me, because we were fighting all the time, and she was just like, and I was like, I can't take it. I can't take somebody fighting with me. And she was like, do you love him? And it really, like, it made me think, and I was like, yeah. I'm like, if he's not going to change, like, it's just how much do you love someone to deal with their personality and how they act. It's really,
well, I mean, hands down, guys, the only person that you have control over is you. So if you think that you're like, I have so many go, well, I'm doing all the work. Well, that's great. You got to do the work for you. But if you're doing it hoping that it's like, and then you do the work and then they're going to do the work because you did it, that's their choice. They might learn from you. They might be inspired from you. They might not want anything to do with the stuff that you're doing to help you. But you can't be happy for both of you. You can't be positive for both of you. You can't see the silver lining for both of you. It's exhausting, and eventually you will resent them or burn out or end up losing yourself completely, going, what happened to me along the way here? And that's, you know, that happens a lot too. Yeah.
yeah, no, I totally agree. I saw somebody said they need an appointment with you. Let's take one more caller. So if anyone wants to make a request, I know Melissa has another appointment. Melissa.Catherine, make sure you follow her. And while I'm waiting for the request,
Oh, thank you.
if somebody wants coaching, Melissa, where can they go, or how do you answer your DMs, or what's your?
Oh yeah, no, I try to answer all of them personally. So yeah, just DM me. And we, for coaching, we just have a questionnaire and an application, and yeah. And then, and also if you go to my website, melissacatherine.com, if you go under work with me, you'll see all the different courses that I offer, and then private coaching with me, and all the different things. There are some that aren't up there as of yet, that I just haven't updated, but there's a lot there. And I also have my free miracle mindset hypnosis that you can get right away as a free gift. I have an entire section just of freebies. Yeah.
I know you also have a YouTube channel with a ton of awesome content there. What is that channel?
That's Melissa Catherine as well. Yeah,
Awesome.
There's like 70 some videos, and they're by category. So yeah, you could binge the hell out of me. Just keep going.
All right, I'm going to take one more call real quick.
Yeah.
Let's see if he answers. Let's see. But awesome stuff, and I'm excited to listen.
Thank
Hello.
you so much. I'm loving this. I'm having so much fun. Well, I have 4 minutes. Okay. Hi.
Hey, I don't know what that was, but I got a little nervous and ended it. All right.
Lady,
Well,
you look up in line. What?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Does
I was
anyone
trying to
else
see if I could help.
Does anyone else have a question for Melissa before we wrap it up? She has like a few more minutes. So if you have a question for an intuitive, she's amazing. When I met her, I was having an issue with something. I won't say what it was, but she like went and she pinpointed something that I didn't even realize. And I talked to I've talked to psychics, I've talked to intuitive, I've talked to all sorts of therapists, and she just didn't even we had it was like a 2-minute conversation, and she just got it.
I love you so much. And guys, how amazing is Lauren? You have to come on my channel.
Yes.
You have to. Well, I'll message you, and yeah, and I have an idea about something else that's coming to me. But for everybody else, I also know the things that we were sharing were meant for everybody. So those of you who we were speaking your language, take that in. Messages that come are always for everybody, and the biggest takeaway is own your magnificence. Recognize the beauty that is you. Know that you are magnificent beyond measure, and that anything you desire, if it's a desire on your heart, it is meant for you and you will be led. So follow that dream. Trust me, just follow it and you will be guided.
All right. I don't know what that was, but well, we'll definitely, anyone who has a question and is watching this after or wants to ask Melissa, leave it in the comments and we'll do another one of these soon. I would love to pick your brain more, because every time I talk to you, it's like you're just like reading things about me that I didn't tell you, which is really funny. So
I'm like, I feel very blessed. It's a gift. Yes. Thank you. I'm like, and thank you. That's incredible for sharing me with your community. And this was just so fun. I mean, yeah, this is what we get to do. How great's our life?
Yeah, super, super fun. Well, thanks so much, Melissa. Everyone, make sure you follow her. There's that little arrow up there. So like click down on the arrow in the live stream. And if you press that follow button, make sure you support her content by following her. Because it's, you know, I know not everyone can go to coaching, but you have so many videos on your page that you can all like get a lot out of all of the content. And you do your show, your live stream show. Do you do it every day, or how often do you do it?
I do the one that I do, Cosmic Tea with Olivia Audrey. We do Wednesdays at 4. We did it earlier today, so that'll be posting later on tonight. And you can watch the whole series. And then I'm usually on IG Live about 3 to 4 times a week, talking about all things under the topic of wholeness, from, you know, nutrition, intuition, manifestation, relationships, and just, you know, achieving your dreams. Yeah.
Awesome. So cool. Thank you so much, Melissa.
Thank you so much. I love you, girl. And I will be talking to you. And thank you, everybody. I'm so honored. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Thanks. Like this video. Follow Melissa. I thought I ended it. Bye, guys.